Kasi si patient, he or she, they cannot detect their own bad breath because of olfactory adaptation. Kasi nasasanay sila sa amoy ng hininga nila. And then, third is after oral or maxillofacial surgeries. So after surgeries near the nasal or olfactory areas or after trauma or swelling, it can also cause temporary or permanent smell loss. Kaya yung mga dentists and oral surgeons, they need to monitor this in post-operative care. Adaptation and sensitivity. So, olfactory adaptation. So, nangyayari yung olfactory adaptation when there is a continuous exposure to an odor that reduces our perception of it. So, for example, pagpasok mo sa bakery, sobrang bango ng tinapay. Pero, after a few minutes, yung amoy ng tinapay na yon, hindi mo na siya naaamoy or napapansin. That's because our brain, it filters out constant odors para mas madali tayong makadetect ng bagong amoy. Next is sensitivity. So when we say sensitivity, it refers to how powerful our sense of smell can be. And humans can detect odor molecules at a very tiny concentrations, even parts per trillion. Kaya kahit sobrang liit lang ng amount ng perfume na inispray mo sa kwarto, naaamoy agad natin. Next is factors affecting the sensitivity, and it includes the age, genetics, health conditions, gender. And when it comes to gender, it shows that women, especially during pregnancy, they are more sensitive to odors, and we call that hyperosmia. Again, yung hyperosmia is an abnormally increased sensitivity to odors, while hyposmia is a reduced or decreased sensitivity to odors. And then last is the protective role ng olfaction. So when we say adaptation, it prevents sensory overload, while high sensitivity, it helps us detect dangers like smoke, mga panis na pagkain, or chemicals before they cause harm.
So, next po, yung summary na po. Tapos na po yung presentation po namin. First, the olfactory system is more than just a sense of detecting odors, and it influences survival, nutrition, memory, and quality of life. It is also unique among senses for its direct connection to emotion and memory centers in the brain, and its rare ability to regenerate neurons. In dental practice, understanding olfaction helps identify systemic illnesses like detecting halitosis, explain taste disturbances, and improve patient care. Recognizing olfactory issues benefits both oral health and overall well-being. So, yun lang po. For the quiz po, magkukwis po.
All right. Thank you, Group 6, for providing us a very comprehensive report. This is the kind of report that I'm expecting you guys to present to your classmates. Again, I would like to commend Group 5 and 6 for giving us a very complete report. Now, let me just, no need for the post-test because we're running out of time. We still have one more reporter, but it's okay. I will just give you a supplemental lecture. This is just a short lecture about the perception of how the perception of smell is processed. Okay, let me share my screen so that I'll be able to catch up with time for a while. Huh? Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, can you see my screen? I think this is a yes. All right, so let's start. So this is just a short lecture just to supplement the report of Group 6. Again, this is physiology of smell or olfactory. So these are the sequential process of the physiology of smell. So it starts with the odor detection, which is a process at the peripheral area of the nose, followed by signal transduction, wherein the olfactory receptor neurons are activated. And then, of course, there is a process of neural transmission that is to activate the central processing unit of the brain. So these are the different, the sequential process of the physiology of smell, followed by the unique features of this sense of smell. So let's start with the odor detection. So this is what we call the odorant. So it starts with the odorant, or what we call the odor molecules that enter the nasal cavity by what? By breathing and sniffing. And they dissolve in the mucous membrane covering the olfactory epithelium. So this is the magnified illustration of this area of the olfactory epithelium. And so here, the olfactory receptor neurons, okay, is activated. It has cilia that contains specific odorant receptors, and each receptors has a G protein coupled receptors, just like your taste sense of perception of taste, wherein certain types of taste is activated by this G protein coupled receptor, or what we call the GPCR. Okay. Then let's go to signal transduction. This is a process wherein the olfactory receptor neurons are activated. So here, the odorant, which is from the stimulus, from the sniffing and breathing, binds to its receptor on the olfactory receptor neurons. And this activates the G protein, or what we call the GOLF, which stimulates the adenyl cyclase. And this converts the ATP to cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which acts as a second messenger that opens the COMP. What is COMP? I always mention COMP. This is stands for cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which is a vital molecular second messenger that is a key player for the signal of taste to enter. Particularly, this is for sweet. This is also for use for the types of sweet, bitter, and taste within the taste receptor cells. Okay? So this COMP opens the ion channels of sodium channels and calcium channels with two protons, and its influx of this sodium and calcium channels with two proton unit leads to depolarization of the olfactory receptors neurons. And if the threshold is reached, then action potential is generated. Okay? So this is how the signal transduction process. Next, it follows the neural transmission, wherein it opens the signal to the central pathway. And here, the axons of this ORNS forms the olfactory nerve, or the cranial nerve 1. And they project to the olfactory bulb here. And then this synapse builds the structure called the glomeruli, and each glomerulus receives input from this ORN, or olfactory receptor neurons, expressing this same receptor type. And this activates the mitral and the top cells, which relay signals from glomeruli to higher brain areas. So what is this higher brain areas? This is what we call the central processing, wherein the signals travel from the olfactory bulb via olfactory tract and activates the following. We have the PC cortex, or the piriform cortex, which is responsible for odor identification, followed by amygdala, which is responsible for the emotional response to smell. And another one is the entorhinal cortex or the hippocampus, which is responsible for odor memory and associations. And also the hypothalamus, which is the autonomic and hormonal responses, which is the appetite production. Okay? And from here, it will activate the thalamus here, and then the insula, okay, which is also found here at the olfactory frontal area of the brain. And then this is the unique features of the sense of smell. So unlike other senses, smell does not relate to the thalamus first before reaching the cortex because it has a direct cortical projection. And humans can detect thousands of odorants, each receptors tuned to specific molecular features. I think this is my last slides. Okay, now let me check the time. It's 9:49. Okay. Is group 7 ready for the report? Group 7, are you there?
Yes po.
We have 10 minutes left. I'm gonna make another Meet, Google Meet. Can you follow me there? So I'll just add an hour for the last topic. Will that be okay? Do you have class after this?
May class po kami ng 10 a.m. Doc.
All right. Okay, probably we'll just continue this next meeting. Will that be okay? So next meeting will be doing what? Group 7. Wait, I'll check my. Okay, so next meeting. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so next meeting, we will be discussing about the physiology of speech, dentition and its function, gingiva, and periodontium. I hope we'll be able to discuss all these 4 topics so that we'll be able to follow the schedule because these are all included in the preliminary period. Anyway, so again, next meeting, we will continue this topic, physiology of speech, and then 3 more topics, dentition, its function, gingiva, periodontium, and the alveolar process. Anyway, the periodontium and alveolar process together with gingiva probably would be not too, they are all associated with each other, so I think we can finish that. All right, guys, I think that would be all for this morning. Any question, guys, before we leave the meeting? No more question, guys? So again, yes, Maxine.
Hello po, Doc. Audible po ba?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yung quiz po next week regarding sa supplemental, ano po ba? Supplemental lessons mo po ba?
Well, actually, these questions are, yes, from the supplemental lectures and some from the post quiz that you constructed, the reporters constructed.
Thank you po.
Okay, so again, so let's clear everything. Next meeting, we will continue the discussion for speech and 3 more topics. Okay, so what are these 3 topics? These are dentition and its function. Okay, always remember to stick to the topic discussed by the by the references I provided. But it's okay if you extract pictures or do more additional explanation for your classmate to understand the topic well. So again, speech, dentition and its function, gingiva, periodontium, and alveolar process. Okay, those are the topics we're going to discuss. And then for the quiz, okay, so the quiz will cover the first quiz, that would be, or third quiz, would cover taste and also olfactory. So this is just a 20 items quiz. Okay, that would be quiz number 3. And then quiz number 4 would cover what's this? Speech, dentition, gingiva, periodontium, and alveolar process. So again, the gingiva, periodontium, alveolar, they are related, so that won't take too much time for you to review. And that will be included in quiz number 4. So next meeting, we will have 2 quizzes. The reason behind that is for me to compute your grade, I need to have at least 5 quizzes for the preliminary period. Any question, guys? So you collect the reports of your classmates, and if you took down notes from my lecture, then I think that would suffice for you to review for the quiz and also for your preliminary period. Okay, any question, guys? No more question? If you don't have any question, then that would be all for this morning.
Fine, thank you po.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you